Sejuani. I think he might be thrown back into that top lane position. Now on to Macko. What can really happen? A Seraphine that kind of opens up everything, hopefully, for Rarish. Honestly, I really like this guy on the mages, and then Haha being allowed to do a little bit more. Honestly, Haha maybe whip out the Echo. He wasn't Echo one trick before he went competitive. Would love to see that. Saw it once in the Norwegian scene as well. I think it went 11-1 on it or something like that. Regardless, it looks to be the top lane as the Renekton gets locked in for Acid.
Okay, so this one could be a completely blind Renekton, or you're going up against the Sejuani, and we've seen both sides of the coin for the Renekton versus Sejuani. We've seen Sejuani solo kill Renekton, we've seen Renekton solo kill the Sejuani. So I think it will pretty much depend on what the matchup actually is towards the top side of the map, if the Sejuani is going to end up being there. Now, of course, the Seraphine being locked in says nothing about Macko. It could be the support, it could be the marksman, it could also be the mid lane, but I just would like to see a few more melees coming in from the sort of Macko. I really like the fact that Seraphine provides so much survivability, shielding, healing, movement speed in her kit, and it's just really great to have that and really useful to have that when you have a bunch of melees in the team.
Yeah, and the Sivir gets locked in here for Schalke 04 as they look to pick up a support alongside it. That's a scary situation. We just saw what a Sivir could do from Inax, and if Takesay gets even some of that performance, he will be a menace. Very hard to deal with. As it's now on to Macko. What will they respond with going up against a strong late game scaling bot lane from Schalke 04?
I mean, right here, you also have the chance to pick Yuumi if you want to, and then shove Seraphine through the mid lane, have a Yuumi towards the bot side of the map, you can pair it up with whatever, and then you have 2 very strong or 3 very strong targets that you can stick the Yuumi on. Now, the Senna being locked in, to me, that screams a lot Seraphine, Senna, bot lane. That is something that G2 do a lot over in the LEC as well. It's a very durable lane that can shove in a lot, and of course, the late game scaling when it comes to damage output as well as sustain is through the roof.
Yeah, that is a Macko bot lane had I ever seen one. The 2 Italians down there like to play it safe, like to play for the team, and you know, when they get into those later game team fights, if it's Rarish or Click who will be playing that Senna, they will have a lot of range and damage, as Schalke did hover the Bel'Veth early on in the pick phase, so that will now be taken off the table as Schalke respond with removing the Jarvan.
And already Trundle's out, Jarvan's out. Something that we've been seeing a lot popping up lately has been also that Vi, where you have a lot of access towards that backline, pairs up really well with something like an Ahri, if you will, because it does have a bunch of follow-up. Now, we're seeing here that DK's Akali has been banned away because he was extremely dangerous last week on this champion. He almost 1v9. And here you have the chance to possibly even ban something like a Viego for C-Boy if you so wish. Again, the likes of a Yuumi are still open, but with Senna Seraphine being locked in, I don't think it's going to be the move from the sort of Macko. Viego indeed going to get banned away. And now C-Boy needs to pick and choose what his champion is going to be. I don't think Vi is bad because you have backline access with the Senna ult. Same with the Seraphine ult as well. Renekton can dive into the backline. Wukong as well works, I guess.
Looks to be saving the counter pick for Haha. Obviously something that makes sense when you have that 5th pick. Let's see what the K will be going with. I really like the K and the Akali. I'm sad to see that banned away. I was hoping for some individual outplays there regardless. Looks to be going something in all honesty, a little bit more boring, let's be completely honest. Could change it still, as he jumps around between a different lot. And that's still a blind. That is very exciting. I'm happy with that. Way better than the Vega that he hovered as well.
Right, and I was about to say, are you ready for like an Ahri LeBlanc matchup? Because it's looking like it might be the case right here. Of course, locking in that LeBlanc very early on, you could go for something like Alessandro in the middle. You could go for something like a Vex. Also depends if Ho-Ho wants to commit to something like this and prepare the team fights and all of the CC for his team. Now, I really like the Olaf. I don't know whose hands it's going to end up being in because we've seen 2 junglers on the side of Schalke so far. But I do really like the Olaf because it goes straight into the backline, is unstoppable through the ultimate. You can reach the backline like the Seraphine and the Senna unstoppable. Wow, that's a Heimerdinger.
They did it. I knew it couldn't be a Macko draft without something spicy to just throw it off here. In realisticness, it will be going to the mid lane, but it could also go to the bot lane if they really feel like it. But that bot lane is simply too, Macko-like that it won't be happening. Haha has the chance to get revenge for his first game on that Heimerdinger that wasn't particularly great. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, and from what I'm seeing on the side of Macko, they have so much control around the fight when it comes to setting down your turrets and not allowing people to enter the river or enter small choke points. If you do enter through small choke points, there's a lot of CC coming in from the Wukong, the Seraphine, the Senna. The scaling is immense. You're 10.
Trouble, I have a very quick question here, right?
That's
I have
the case for Renekton, man.
Yeah, for Renekton. But I have a question. I have a friend. He's a Katarina one trick as well, but he can't get out of gold 3. Do you have any quick advice that I can send on to him?
Yeah, just stop playing the champion.
Just stop playing the champion. I think he's actually started doing that, and he started to gain more LP.
See, there you go. It works. You're welcome for the free low.
I'll make sure he keeps playing other champs. Swain seems pretty broken at the moment, at least if you ask Dusty and Game Mode. After that last game, obviously, everything is settled. Dusty will be the 2nd seed, and Game Mode will be the 1st. So, playing for pride as Jaeger goes in. He's back to the jungle, by the way.
He just smites the little cannon away. So basically,
wait, that's
before
actually the first stack.
If you actually smite, if you actually smite prior to when your camps spawn, your first smite cooldown goes down to 15 seconds, but your second does not. That's why you see the long cooldown on Jaeger's smite. I think this is how it goes. Oh my lord, there's a huge mosquito in here.
Regardless, though,
I'm telling you, this mosquito only.
A story of things to come for the next 3 games, as Haha will be pushing out this mid lane early on thanks to the help of the turrets. Hopefully, Trouble, you'll get to deal with the mosquito within a reasonable time frame. I really feel bad for you. I know when that happens, and it sucks, as both junglers will start on that top side and maybe look to rotate down towards the bot lane. I don't think I have Trouble back yet. She's she's fighting the mosquitoes. Regardless, you know, I'm not trapped in here with you. You guys are trapped in here with me for the next couple minutes.
No, I'm trapped in here with this mosquito. Okay,
you're back. Why didn't you answer me before then?
He's like hovering around. He's the size of my head, but back to League of Legends.
Regardless, yeah. What's going on the map, Trouble? The jungler's down towards their bot sides.
I think my producer's having a lot of fun right now, just seeing me every time I see the mosquito just jump off of my chair. Okay, so the thing with Olaf is, even though we saw that he used both of the smites to take down these 2 turrets so that the Heimerdinger doesn't have a setup push in the mid lane from the very get-go, is that Olaf does not give a single F about the smite. He likes to be pretty low HP in his jungle. This is why a lot of times when we do see Olafs in the jungle, we'd like to see a couple of priority lanes for the Olaf in case the invade does come through, because he does play in his jungle very low HP to get the use of his passive, of course, which is very low. So that was pretty good stuff right there from Jaeger, cashing in on the turrets as well very early on.
Yeah, and now Jaeger, as you say, he is only missing the Croc for the full clear to be complete, while that has happened, C-Boy has skipped his Croc, so that means that he won't really have the full clear, but will be able to secure the first scuttle. And that actually means Acid will rotate down to take the top scuttle. So no scuttles here for Jaeger, who will only be content with his full clear and nothing else here on this first rotation. Good trade.
As you can see, there are 3 lanes of prior right here for C-Boy. You've got Heimerdinger, who's setting down the towers. In the mid lane, he's got priority there. Seraphine / Senna, we said it from the very get-go, from the draft as well. It's going to be really difficult to outpush a lane like this, especially when you start getting more and more items onto the Seraphine. But we said that when there is a Heimerdinger and it's in a Seraphine lane, usually the recipient of all the action is most likely going to be... I almost got the mosquito.
Yeah, we lost you for a couple of seconds. I can't hear anything of what you were saying.
I almost got him.
Regardless, this top side seems pretty interesting, as Jaeger will be getting his recall through. That means C-Boy will simply be focusing on his jungle and Trouble. Allow me to talk C-Boy for a minute. The MVP in spring 2021 of the PG Nationals. Obviously, he played in NLC just last split, and I have to reveal myself here. I voted him my MVP of the jungle in 2022 spring for the NLC. Sadly, he didn't win it. Regardless, though, he were able to get top 8 at the Emerson European Masters, and now he's back, you know, I think he's 2-time Italian champion. No, 3-time Italian champion, actually. 3 PG Nights victories for him. As this is 3rd time trying to get through the group stage with Macko. And yet again, they have been unsuccessful. But, you know, maybe the 4th time will be the charm next spring 2023.
Hopefully. But here they do have some chance for some sort of redemption arc, right? Because even though, again, the seeds have been done, dusted, and decided for this particular group, Game Ward is through as a 1st seed and Dusty from the LC is through as a 2nd seed. Right here, the players...
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh, we're back.
Yes,
okay, we're back.
I was scared for half a second. I do believe that's why we had to pause earlier, because this thing needed to get sorted out. All the incident went out, and man, I feel bad for Schalke. This has been a rough Amazon European Masters for them, with things outside of their control. Let's put it like that for the players playing here today, at the very least. But you know, Jaeger gets some good competitive experience. Maybe we'll see him on a team as jungle next split.
Right, so in the bottom we have a lot of back and forth, so both of the junglers have actually ended up that part, and Jaeger's gonna show himself now. Talking about Jaeger as well, we saw him on the 1st game of the day for Schalke. He went back towards the top side of the map. It was versus Dusty. He did play against Pepperos, which is his main lane. We had Elite joined, playing support, and Lilip was in the jungle, but right now, Ho-Ho has found Jaeger.
Ghost has already been popped. C-Boy is here as well. No rep buff though, so the slow won't be there. The grenade will slow a little bit as Decay now jumps over the wall as well to follow up. Good damage onto C-Boy. A few more autos would do it. Another chain connects, and Decay would be getting first blood if Haha didn't secure it first. Another K forced to flash away, and that's a grenade for a double for the Heimerdinger.
And the thing is, throughout this entire fight, there were 2 towers in this very tiny choke point where Decay and Jaeger were trying to fight C-Boy and Ho-Ho. It was so difficult to play around that place because you have the towers, so it's difficult to hit chains, but Lilith flashing in for the poly.
Yeah, Click on the wrong side of the map here, Rarish, there to back him up though, so a flash from Click will get him out. Both summoners used that from Lilith as in the top lane. Elite joined. You might have done a bit too far forward here, buddy, into a 1v2. The Cyclone is spinning, but Decay and Jaeger come in as backup. It will be a 1-for-1 trade though, as Decay will secure the kill.
And it's very important because this LeBlanc is getting outpushed the entire time. It's very important to actually get some kills onto that LeBlanc, get that threat, because being shoved underneath your tower, you do not get the opportunity to roam as much as you would like with that LeBlanc. Let's see this replay, of course, again. This is Jaeger overextended a little bit in a river that was not his, and DK says, okay guys, let's fight. He does get the chain through, but look at these towers. He actually threads the second one onto Siva as well, so major props to DK for getting back-to-back 2 chains through the 2 Heimerdinger towers, but still the towers are not just there for them to cover the chain, they're there to put down the damage as well. And when you're fighting around them for the entire time, of course, all the damage done meant that Decay and Jaeger both died in this exchange, giving the 2 all to Heimerdinger. And now, of course, you're like, yeah, okay, 2 on to Heimerdinger, but the fact that he has a lost chapter, the fact that he almost has his Leandris up and available means that the push is going to become more and more extreme for Decay, and Decay is going to have to be using a lot of his ultimate charges to try and de-push the wave in order for him to try and get some roams on the map.
Or maybe Jaeger could come down as well, as he has just taken a Rift Hold, something at the very least to try and claw back this small gold deficit that Schalke and Ulfia flanked himself in after those first couple of kills have come down. Where would you like to see Jaeger use this Herald? Will the mid lane be the most likely target, or are they planning to maybe try and get Tixit even further ahead?
So usually the question is exactly what you mentioned. Do you give it to your AD carry to get them further ahead, to give them possibly an item, to get them to power spike before a fight? Do you use it to sort of conceal the fact that you want to get into the river and use it as a point of pressure? Or do you open up mid lane? Usually when you have a really heavy wave pushing mid lane on the opponent team, you might as well want to pop it towards that mid lane, especially since you have a LeBlanc. It's going to be a ding-ding, double benefit right there. You give money onto your assassin, your AP assassin, and you also create a little bit of a hole in the mid lane, because that Heimerdinger has so much shove, so much push. It's going to be extremely difficult if you don't pick him off the map to actually open up that mid lane. So use the first Herald in the mid lane, get a couple of platings on your LeBlanc, and then use possibly the second one to open up completely the mid lane top.
And in terms of neutral objectives, C-Boy will not go quietly into the night as he looks to take away this first Drake. Sadly though, no smite, and Jaeger could simply just walk up here and force him out from the objective. Still, this smite cooldown very long, so Jaeger could still just walk in. Realistically speaking, Ragnarok available, so they would have to kill him through damage. Lilith, no ultimate as well, so Wild Growth won't be available. Drake down to 2.5k. Yeah, he just walks in. He's just gonna walk in.
They're popping the ghost as well, though, because Click is on the wrong side of the map. Another sandwiched.
Yeah, C-Boy could look for a very good cycling. Have a good slope from the undertow. Denies a full-on engage. As he will be rooted up, Jaeger, taking a bit more damage as the Spectral more connected. Not enough damage for anyone to go down as the Drake has simply just reset and no one gets anything from this.
Saying this right now, but top lane is actually shoving a lot. But you'll see that Decay has returned to the mid lane, which means that Ho-Ho has to reply to that. And the only reason why Macko is not going to just go for that play, if you look towards the top side of the map, Acidy doesn't have his teleport up and available, so Lead Joint right here could clear up this wave. And if a fight would break out towards the bot side of the map, he could be back, buy his items, join. And the Sejuani or the Sejuani frontline would be problematic, especially since Macko will be playing 4 versus 5. So really good stuff right there from Macko to actually pull their hands off the trigger and be like, it's fine. We have a push in mid, we have a push in bot. We can actually use and abuse that advantage that we have from 2 lanes towards the bottom of the map however we please. Also, a reminder here that Macko need to be able to defend versus that Rift Herald.
They change connect, but they won't lock anyone up as Jaeger.
Wait.
What? He just got melted
Jaeger,
there.
Wait, Jaeger got baited. Jaeger got baited by Decay. They're like, okay,
man,
guys,
we got.
That. Okay, so Olaf was obviously, I'm joking, Olaf was way too far forward, and because the chains did not land on Ho-Ho, it means that you do not have any further follow-up on Heimerdinger, and especially with Flash on Ho-Ho, it would be kind of silly to overextend underneath the tower, right? So Jaeger overextends, ends up losing his life, and the kill will go over to C-Boy.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jaeger, man. He rolls drops, he takes one for the team, goes in the jungle, and his mid lane just leaves him to die like that. As Jaeger will respawn once again. I mean, like, going behind O2 as an Olaf feels very bad, and now he's just forced to use the help because he was running low on the cooldown.
Oh no, add the insult to injury. Add the insult to injury.
Oh, and it walks top lane as well. I mean, Elite Giant, he's cheering. He's very happy with this. He'll get a couple extra 100 extra
Get
gold.
that bread, Sejuani. He saw yours. Actually, the Sejuani is 1k behind, so...
It will help. It will relieve some pressure. The main problem is, though, that Acidy could be in trouble here. Lilith will do a bit of damage, but C-Boy is here, so Lilith, you need to be careful. He does have flag, but he just gets... Oh my, that's a one-shot if I've ever seen one. As
okay,
Lilith
so
can't even flash away.
I want to say that this is a pretty clever rotation from Schalke because they knew that the Herald was going top lane, but Jaeger might be in trouble.
Yeah, Jaeger in big trouble yet again, baited by his lane as his Acidy will secure the kill with the slice and dice. Oh my, I was supposed to say a couple minutes ago, trouble. This game was played somewhat quietly and pretty clean from both sides, I would say. But now this game has just exploded into, I don't really know what's going on. They might even dive here for a third one, and they will. They won't lose anyone. It's clean. It's a nice dive from Macko, who will get their 7th kill of the game.
And it gets worse. It's like your top side of the map is winning really hard. Your Renekton's really fed. Your Wukong's really fed. You have a Heimerdinger, which makes it really difficult for teams to engage upon you. And yet,
Rares will be knocked up with the Wild Growth. Nice play from Lilith. Flash already used, so a kill will go over to Takes it. And that's a very important guy to get more gold into his pocket.
Absolutely. Having the Sivir getting some gold into their pocket is very important, but I just wanted to say that you also have a Seraphine Sentinel that are perma-scaling towards the bot side of the map. And that is also really important, especially since usually when you have a Renekton in the team, you want him to have that early game gold lead, and he does. He's 2.2k up onto the Sejuani. But then later on, this Renekton, instead of a one-shot machine, becomes more of a bruiser, more of a front-to-back kind of fighter, together with the Wukong. So having the Seraphine there, the Wukong, the Senna, creating space in the fight. Let's see, maybe 1v2? Nope.
Yeah, I mean, he has a turret to make it up 2v2, but there's nothing that can really save you there, as the turrets will help him get one back as C-Boy will be picking up his 3rd kill of the game. I think Decay actually has to be careful here. A good amount of burst damage is available from C-Boy, who will just be looking for the first shot of the game. Or maybe another kill. He's sped out of his step here, actually. Lilith comes in as well. Decay very low. But C-Boy can't quite really get anyone in this one running. Might be up in a couple seconds. Good damage from Lilith.
Wait!
Who gets the shot down.
Decay flashed for that kill, and Lilith secured.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh no, dude.
Yes.
This is tragic, man. Especially since LeBlanc is absolutely starving. 500 gold down, getting perma-shoved under the tower. If you look in the mid lane, there's 4 tower platings that went over to the Hammerding, and he gets sniped as well.
Oh no, this just gets worse and worse for Schalke 04. When does it ever end? And the answer is certainly not now, as Lilith will fall as well to a good encore, and they will get even more. Jaeger falls for the 5th time in 15 minutes. Haha jukes away from the dancing Boomerang, actually, as Takes it, will be able to get out alive. And that's the one silver lining. This guy is 1-0.
I don't know how many silver linings you can get here. I think you don't need one. You need a few. you need a few of them, because
a good handful maybe.
if you look at the win con right here for Schalke 04, it would be maybe grab a few of these early drakes, try to use your Sivir to burn them down really quickly, create a win condition for yourself. Because the second Herald is going to go towards the side of Macko, right? And again, we're seeing the play for Decay. Adding insult to injury, Lily secures the kill whilst Decay flashes, and then he also gets sniped, oversteps, ends up being punished by Click. And that was a beautiful Seraphine ultimate. And you can see how easy it is with Seraphine, Heimerdinger, and Senna to sort of dictate how you want to fight. You step backwards, you step forwards, you create space with Seraphine and Senna's spell. Same with Heimerdinger, they get too close, they start getting shot by the towers. So you can imagine how difficult it is for even someone like Lee Joined on the Sejuani, especially since he's behind almost 3k gold through a Necton, to engage when that Sejuani is even that squishy.
Yeah, and Macko in a pretty confident lead here as they could look to expand it even more with another Drake being unlocked. That's still the first one, actually. We're 70 minutes in trouble.
I have good news. I have good news.
Yeah,
this could be Macko's first win. And it's also a revenge win. Because that number one that sits underneath Schalke's scoreline was against Macko. That was from first week. So definitely Macko wants some revenge. They want to make it 1-1 versus Schalke, and Jaeger here might be looking for an opportunity. But again, the spacing from Senna is so difficult. Unless you want to commit to actually popping your ultimate, but popping the ultimate on the Olaf without having the ghost, it's kind of like stepping on eggshells.
Jaeger. They might be looking for another flank here, actually. Ooh. Good stun, but it's onto Seaboy, who actually gets bursted very impressively there. Good damage coming out, but now Acid in the front line, taking up a lot. Elite Giant has to run away to get out to safety. Click now, taking up good damage, takes it, and certainly spits some good damage out as well. But in the end, only one will fall as Acid, though, walking very far forward, gets locked up with the chain. That's 2 for Schalke. They could still get more here. Ghosts are being popped, flashes are being blown forward from Takes It. He's not done. TP in behind. Rarish set to fall. Won't get anything back. Decay says hello to Click. That's 4 for Schalke 04.
And remember what we said from the beginning. When you have a Heimerdinger setting up turrets, the enemy team cannot actually walk into you. Ho-Ho was all the way in the bot side of the map. He was taking towers. He was too busy. And we said once you take the Heimerdinger out of the equation, it might make it a little bit more difficult for Schalke if they split you apart to actually take you down. And that's exactly what they did. They've not only managed to shut down a bunch of members from the sort of Macko, cash in on a bunch of these bounties and shutdowns, but also they took a big chunk out of that mid lane turret that was so difficult for them to take down. So next time a fight like this happens again, they'll be able to actually open up that mid lane tower and maybe look for opportunities in the jungle, having the LeBlanc into Fog of War. Or that Rift Herald that we mentioned prior has now been spawned towards the top side, and Macko are just going to use that to take that top lane tier 2.
You know, trouble. Schalke, they found a couple more silver linings. They maybe have, what, 2, 3 now? Decay isn't too far behind. They just want to fight. I mean, some good things are actually happening to this team, it looks like.
Okay.
They're still behind.
We did not clarify how many silver linings we're looking for. We said
That's true.
If they have found, let's say, 2 and they need 100, they still got a way to go, right? But
that's very pessimistic of you, Trouble. I think maybe 15 will do. And they're on a solid,
and they have
3,
2.
4 now.
2 out of 15 silver linings. That's still a way to go. But honestly, I trust you and I believe in you, Dudley. And I know that when you see
You're
a
putting
Sivir,
too much faith in my analysis,
when you see
man.
a Sivir and a Zeri, you're like kind of skeptic, right? You see people walking towards the Sivir, their HP bars kind of like disappear. You're like, where the damage come from? It's the Sivir, guys.
Exactly.
So,
the boomerangs are bouncing. Jaeger might get caught out. Luckily, he has a Ragnarok, so he's able to walk out of the CC. It's much though. Do blow. The haha. Upgrade ultimate as the K.
Oh,
Takes a
Lily.
little bonk, Lilith. You're out of your depth, buddy. He's in no man's land. Takes it. Could be in trouble as well. He's trapped inside the Macko jungle, actually. Have they realized he's spotted out now? But they won't chase him down anymore.
But you see that Macko now have the numbers advantage on the map. They can actually move towards the Baron. Look at the ultimates that are missing. Lulu is dead, can no longer buff your Sivir. Olaf doesn't have Ragnarok, which is so important. How do you walk through this choke point without your ultimate? You're gonna die!
And takes it is nowhere to be found. Jaeger will be sent into the grave. Say hello to Lilith, maybe, before he respawns in a couple of seconds. Decay. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to steal this one. Elite Giant might jump in for something, but it's simply just to watch it fall, and he'll fall himself afterwards. I mean, those 2 silver linings there, they've gone down back to 1. That's it.
Okay. You know what? They can keep their silver linings, which were 2, but then we can keep raising the number that they need,
true.
right?
Okay. 20
at
now,
least when
20.
the game becomes really difficult. It's an 8,000 gold difference right here. That Hammerding is absolutely huge. Got 2.5 items, hasn't even backed. So observers, please, if we can have a look at the gold to see how much Hammerding is actually holding. Right now, his inventory, it's 2k. So that is another Nidus Lad's Rod. If you just go towards that death cap, that's a lot of damage that this Hammerding has stored. But with 30 seconds, might not be able to cash in unless he's pushing. No, yoink. The gold's gonna get yoinked right there from Rara, so doesn't matter if he was pushing for an item. They're gonna be forced to move towards that dragon. It's gonna be the second dragon of the game. That's gonna be an Infernal. So we are bound to have a banger soul again coming from Macko, and Macko will have the 2 first dragons. Now, the thing is, for Schalke to actually be able to pull out this win and this victory is for Decay to probably get a pick onto someone like find Click, find Travis, find Ho-Ho, and actually make this a numbers advantage for Schalke. Otherwise, in a pure 5 versus 5, it is just so difficult.
And Seaboy goes in for just a little bit of poke. The second Drake has now spawned. Jaeger, though, on a flank. Click. No flash, haha. Can flash out, though, Jaeger.
Hold on.
Needs to be a bit careful, as it feels like he can take a lot of damage very quickly. Into a snowman goes How, then later goes Golden. As Jaeger falls, Lilith down to 10%. It was a nice flank, but it just simply wasn't enough. And another flank will now come through, this time for Macko. And it will likely work out a little bit better, as they see Acidi takes a bit of damage, but able to go out with the blast code.
And this fight that we just saw, I hope we have a replay later on, is exactly what the Heimerdinger syndrome does in a team fight. Ho-Ho had 2 of his towers down, but never mind, because Macko died.
Yeah, Seaboy flashes forward, but doesn't really connect on anyone important. As Elite Giant able to get away for now. Takes 1 down. Could look for more, but Elite Giant gets smoked. Flash forward from Lilith, who tries to get something back, but it's simply too hard. There's too much healing. There's too much shielding. For a while, at least, as Decay manages to one-shot 1 before he falls himself. Now Jaeger, back up, tries to save the inhibitor, but he can't really save anything except for table scraps.
And the question here is, Macko have a bunch of money into their pockets right now. Do you rush that dragon without a jungler? You do run through the risk of Jaeger running in with something like a Ghost and a Ragnarok and actually trying to steal the dragon away. On the other hand, it is only the second jungler, so do you risk your life? And the answer is no. Jaeger's gonna move towards the top side of the map. You'll see that he will get pinged also from the side of Macko. They're like, okay, there is no danger for the dragon to be stolen away, but very importantly, that mid lane tower finally is going to be opened up. Now, we're talking about the mid lane tower a lot in the very early game because it is such an important tower to take in vision into the opponent's jungle. And the problem for Schalke is that they have been playing behind their own lines for the entirety of this game. So taking that mid lane tower doesn't necessarily give them too much vision control at this particular point. Let's see the fight again in the mid lane. It is actually there you go. You see Jaeger, but look at how Ho does. He will empower his tower, sorry, with his ultimate, and this is zoning away. Takes it. Lilip, elite joint. All of them are being zoned away by one ultimate from the Heimerdinger. And Jaeger ends up being, unfortunately, ditched by his team because his team just cannot advance forward through that tower. And from there on out, Macko, pretty clinical. I mean, they will overextend a little bit.
Yeah, C-Boy here.
C-Boy right there with a little bit of an overextension. Gets caught by the Sejuani. You see the proc right there on the stun. And takes it, will take him out with a bounce off the ricochets. And Acidy walks in to try and finish the deal that C-Boy did. And once DK has spawned, has back again, will take out the crocodile, but that was a really nice. Acidy knew he was dead, so he's like, I'm gonna flush stun you. But Jaeger is going in yet again on the Renekton.
Yeah, he's chasing hard on Acidy, but might just die here in the end. Can't get out, it seems like, as he misses the undertone, the important carries. Good shield though from Lilip to buy some time, and Ison takes it. He is melting through the backline, but it's just not enough. Brarish bad, he's still alive. And Macko get a 1 for 0.
You can see how dangerous actually CV becomes towards the latter stages of the game. And DK
finds one, but goes back out, and that's straight into a cyclone, straight into the waiting hands of Macko.
Oh, takes it.
Will also get one, but takes it. That silver lining is growing bigger and bigger trouble. They can't get onto him.
Okay, takes it, refuses to lose this game together with DK here. And we said that if this game is to be turned around, it's through picks from DK. Look what he does. He shoves the Seraphine away. Jaeger here will overextend towards the Renekton. He will end up paying the price with his life. But you'll see that when Macko is actually all grouped up, thrown to back, and takes it, gets to freely hit, because Elite Joint is actually in the front. Look at all the ricochets. Invisible damage makes all of the life bars from Macko almost disappear. And DK is going to finish the deal right here. Of course, he's going to go panic. He's going to get punished. But he has cast once again the shutdown and takes it here. He's going to take 2 more kills for himself. This Sivir is going to be huge.
Danish AD carries, man, what can I say? They're so good at the game. Regardless, though, Macko are still with the lead, and I think, as you highlighted just a couple of minutes ago, it's very important to remember how much this means for the PG Nationals, right? At the moment, with how Amateur and European Masters are going, both in spring and in summer, PG Nationals were the only minor ERL able to take a win, and they got 1 last group stage. Macko will look to get 1 here as well and continue to bear the flag as the strongest non-accredited ERL. But they need to close this game out, because I'm getting more and more worried for Macko here. Trouble because takes it. He's very good at League of Legends.
He is very good at League of Legends, and currently he's sitting at 4-0-6. 3.5 items in. His 4th item will most likely be either something like a Bloodthirster, or he can go towards something like a Guardian Angel. If he does get found by a Renekton or a Wukong as Jaeger here, he's gonna face check that Wukong and burns his ulti, but DK...
Yeah, Cyclone already used. I mean, for the next couple fights, we're just gonna have our eyes set on take set. Haha as well, good turrets, but he uses the upgraded one on the Baron to try and burst it quicker, so that's a very important cooldown out of the fight. A couple fights ago, it almost one-shot Lilip, so let's see what happens with the Baron down to 4k. Still, Ison takes it, and Ison the Baron with the ball. Jaeger can walk in, it's a pure 50-50, but he's gone. No longer, the steal opportunity is there. Takes it though, still alive, he might get something back as Click are firing up the shots from a long distance, where even Takes It can't compete. He's gotten 1 though, still 4 from Macko stand as they have won the fight for now.
And remember, Seraphine, Senna, Heimerdinger, all still up and available, all still alive. DK's looking.
Connects the chains, but the cooldown not quite there, so the burst wasn't really coming through. So C-Boy survives, barely. Drake spawning though, and that is something that Schalke can take away.
That's something that Schalke can try to take away, because Heimerdinger's on his way. There's Hex Gates as well. Remember, DK will have the TP and he's going to channel it, but he is channeling towards 3 members from Macko.
DK, that's a bit too far forward, buddy. You're going straight into your death. You have to feel that's an incredible cyclone. Eyes on takes it, and it looks to be take, set, match for Macko as they've taken down the 1 silver lining, the 1 bit of hope for Schalke, as Click will get debated just a little bit here. The Benny Hills, though, won't really need to be cute. I think DK goes down regardless to Rarish. Or maybe the base just falls even without the K going down.
Oh, okay, Click. Very clever right there. He's got above the ward in the burst. And of course, that TPing in because there's only 2 members remaining from Schalke. And there's no wave clear among them. Macko has 5. They're looking to take revenge for week 1.
Macko will get the first win of a non-accredited ERL at the summer split of the Amazon European Masters. It's a big one for them. It's a big one for the non-accredited ERLs, as they will get just the last few couple of kills to make sure this game is all but sealed. Takeset is up in 2 seconds, but he cannot do anything other than watch his Nexus fall, as Macko will improve their score to 1-4.
Very well done here from the Italian org. Again, they take revenge because Macko, of course,